Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. Today's video we're going to talk Star Collecting Kings of War Ambush, and today we're going to take a look at the brand new Nightstalker Ambush starter set. Now we're going to go through the contents of this box set, talk a little bit about the units that are found inside it, before having a look at some other units we can use to expand upon this initial box set. We'll then finally finish off the video with a little sample army list of 500 points to hopefully give you some inspiration and some ideas for building your own Nightstalker force for Kings of War. And so, to begin with, let's talk about the units that come inside this box set. And first of all, we have a unit of 10 Reapers or Tormentors. This would be a base troop size unit. So, first of all, we have Reapers. They're one of our base infantry units we have available to us. You're going to have 15 attacks for a base infantry unit, which is pretty nice, with melee 3+ and defense 4. You've also got Crushing Strength 1 and Mind Thirst in there as well, along with Stealthy. So a nice variety of different rules here available to you. Now, Crushing Strength is just going to give you, some basic combat benefit of getting that extra sort of power through. Meanwhile, Stealthy will mean ranged attacks are going to be a -1 to hit. And then you've also got the Mind Thirst special rule, which is really fun. If this unit's within 12 inches of an enemy unit with the Inspiring or Very Inspiring special rule, and it is routed, the opponent has to reroll any nerve tests, and the second result will stand. Now, the alternate build for that kit is the Tormentors. They're close cousins to the Reapers with Slit Distended Face and Wicked Talons for arms, but their big thing, they've got 12 attacks, so a few less there, but they've got Crushing Strength in there, and they've also got Flyer in their rules as well, along with Nimble, Strider, and Leaper. So this is some really cool extra special rules in there to make them a little bit decent. They aren't as combat efficient. I mean, they have a defense of 3+ and a melee of 3+. They are a little bit more defensive on what we're looking at. But all in all, they're going to be, a nice, fun unit to bring to the table. Now, the other option we got is the heavy infantry we get in here. And these can be built as either Butchers or Ravagers. Butchers are pretty standard large infantry. Crushing Strength 2 with Fury, Mind Thirst, and Stealthy. They're just in there to really get in and get a punch. You got 9 attacks for a regiment of 3 of them. Defense 5+, but melee 4+ is really nice. Now, the other option we have for this unit are the Ravagers. Now, the Ravagers are going to have a ranged attack with them. You can see the extended sort of jaws that's shooting out with. The Void Cannons are 12-inch piercing 1 with steady aim, which is really cool. They've still got 9 attacks at melee, but they are going to be a little bit more expensive. 140 points for your base regiment there. And so, where to go next with our Nightstalker force? And the first one I want to talk about is a couple of units from a dual kit called the Doppelgangers and Scarecrows. Now, first of all, Doppelgangers. These are a really interesting unit. As the name suggests, when this unit attacks an enemy unit in melee, it may opt to use the enemy's profile for its melee attacks instead of its own. If it does so, it uses the enemy's melee stat, attack stat, and crushing strength value for that turn instead of its own. Any magical artifacts the enemy unit has are ignored, however, and the Doppelgangers themselves may still use magical artifact as if they had their own, so they use their own on top. You apply any bonuses and penalty granted by magical artifact spells, terrain, and other sources after the decision of which stats to use. So this is really cool. They are only 10 attack base, melee 5+, defense 4+, so they're not that great. So they generally want to be going into, your opponent's heaviest stuff and copying them and getting those attacks in first. A really interesting unit to have. Now, the alternate build for that kit is the Scarecrows, who come base in regiment, much the same as the Doppelgangers. Both these units will always be regiments at the smaller size, and obviously that is the largest size unit we can take in a game of ambush. Now, these Scarecrows themselves have Mind Thirst, Stealthy, and Wild Charge D3, and they can also choose to take a Scream Shard, which is an army special upgrade for the Nightstalkers, where once per game, before the unit rolls to damage in melee, you can choose to give the unit the Life Leech +2 special rule for the remainder of the turn, but then your Scream Shard is destroyed, can't be used for the rest of the game. Other than that, melee 5+, defense 3+, and unit size regiment is the standard there with 12 attacks. Now, another cool new unit we have for the Nightstalkers is the Shadow Hounds. These are a cavalry unit. They have Mind Thirst, Nimble, Regeneration 5+, Stealthy, and Thunderous Charge 1. So a nice variety of different special rules available to them. Now, they've got melee and defense 4+, and they pack out 10 attacks for a troop, or a regiment of them will put out 20. They're pretty cheap, and a nice big speed of 10 means they give you some really fast movement. The last unit I want to talk about is going to be a heavy infantry unit called the Phantoms. Now, Phantoms give you Fly, Mindthirst, Nimble, and Stealthy, so a nice good variety of rules. Speed 10 there with Fly is super useful. Scream Shard can be taken on them as well, so they can get that Life Leech +2 once per game. They've got 12 attacks in a troop, or they've got 15 if they decide to be a regiment. A really fun unit to bring to the table. I think, the Fly and Movement 10 is super nice to have access to. And so here we have our sample armor list for the Nightstalkers. Now, we've obviously used all the base models inside that initial box set here. We've gone for Tormentors, which are the flying version of the unit in there. They are a small one. And then we've got Ravagers and Butchers, a unit of each of the monstrous infantry. Now, the Butchers here, they're a combat unit, and we're going to give them Sir Jesse's Boots of Striding. This will allow them to have Strider and Pathfinder. This stops them pretty much ignoring a bunch of difficult terrain stuff. This can be really useful, because this is probably the big, heavy-hitting combat unit we have access to us. So definitely going to be really useful having, that nice, good movement, and you'll be able to ignore things like forest and stuff on the table. Regiment-wise, we've gone for a unit of Scarecrows to add in 80 points when they've taken the Scream Shard. Is a nice little addition of a decent block to really hold that centre line along with the Ravagers and Tormentors. And then, we've got the Butchers to be a nice offensive unit, and the Tormentors as well are a good offensive unit if we want. But the Scarecrows can provide, that centre core along with those shooting Ravagers. This army is 500 points on the nose. There are 4 regiments and troops, and no unlocked units are available, or no unlocked units taken for it. I think the Nightstalkers are really cool. I'm really excited to get my own Nightstalkers painted up. I've got a box set of them here. We love to get them up. We're looking forward to getting some Kings of War Ambush and Kings of War happening on the channel. But if you've got some thoughts on Nightstalkers, let us know down in the comments below. And so that's the end of the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel down below. And also, don't forget to drop a comment down below letting us know what you enjoyed about the video. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our great little community here at Sinful Gaming, we have a Discord server that's linked down in the video's description. Also linked down in the video's description are the best ways to help support the channel. Either by grabbing yourself some channel merch, either through our Ko-fi or Teespring stores, or by supporting us directly via Patreon and YouTube members. As a special thank you to everyone who does support the channel via Patreon and YouTube members, we'd like to give you all a shout out. So thank you to our Patreons, Christian Weir, Soren, Kenny Lau, Outer and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Cure Dynamic, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Benjamin Swallows, Red Martin, Iron Grinch, Colorblind Magic, Grimscold, and Andy C. And to our YouTube members, Green Roots Gaming, Ronya, Lock Lorick, The Johnny84, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revan R, Pink Noco Fire, Robin Mankiller, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, James Tillman, Disco, and John Castle. And a special thanks to Lady Witchfox R and all the amazing people who do the moderation of our Discord server and groups who make everything we do possible. Thank you all so much once again for watching, for supporting the channel. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.